I think the president was in high tide during that time. Alam mo yung parang high tide. Kasi dude, hindi mo ba nakikita na parang ikaw lang yung lumapit? Parang hindi mo nakikita na this is a moment between the South Korean president and the Chinese president. So, yun eh, na parang una-una, it's not an award. It's not an award. So there's really nothing to congratulate China for. It was just announcing na ang susunod na host ay China because it is according to schedule. Okay, according to schedule. Tapos, kaya awkward ako kasi nung lumapit siya, ano talaga bigla si Wang Yi. Ibig sabihin, ano to? Bakit ka lumalapit? What is the point? What does it actually mean? What does it actually mean? Cooperation. Pagkatapos, dude, 23, 24, all your time as president, walang ginawa yung administration mo, kundi iba siyang China, babuyin yung mga taong akala ninyo na pinagbibintangan ninyo na mouthpiece ng Beijing. Kulang na nga lang is pahilirahin na itong mga to at i-firing squad ninyo sa Luneta, katulad nung ginawa sa mga makapili. Tapos yung mga nag-aaral dito sa China, ng mga Pilipino, pinagbibintangan ninyo ng kung ano-ano.
Guys, andyan si Sas.
Ano ng chika?
Hindi yung sa ASEAN, na after after nung intervention speech niya, parang nagfa-fanboy siya dun kay President Xi and breaking protocol. So, ang dami nang sinulat ni Ana about it, natatawa na ako. So, what's your take?
I think it was unang-una, it was awkward.
To say the least, yes.
It was very awkward because I believe yung context kasi noon is, I think the South Korean president was, ano sinabi ng South Korean president noon? He was like announcing that.
Teka. Check natin. At the time, he did.
Ano kasing context noon eh? Yung context nung
was, I don't know if it was at the same time, matagal na kasing hindi nagkikita or nag-meet yung South Korean president with Xi.
So I think
after na yan.
Parang South Korea ata ang ng APEC, tapos parang pinapasa ata sa China yung corona.
Sa APEC. Oo, sa APEC yan. Oo, correct.
Korea,
tapos
APEC.
We're already in an awkward
so parang gano'n, parang pinapasa sa.
Yes.
Di ba? So parang ina-announce ng susunod na host ay China.
Yeah.
Okay? And then, kaya nga di ba yung context yung sinabi ni BBM na kaya daw niya nilapitan dahil kinongratulate daw niya yung China for being the next host. Ako naman parang, una-una, why do you need to congratulate? Scheduled naman yan. Rotational naman talaga yan. It's not some achievement na okay, nanalo ang China sa pag-host. Wala naman ganon. It's really rotational. Okay? Rotational siya. So, kaya nga, ikalawa, I think the president was in high tide during that time. Alam mo yung parang, high tide. Kasi, dude, hindi mo ba nakikita na parang ikaw lang yung lumapit? Parang, hindi mo nakikita na this is a moment between the South Korean president and the Chinese president. So, yun eh, na parang, una-una, it's not an award. It's not an award. So, there's really nothing to congratulate China for. It was just announcing na ang susunod na host ay China because it is according to schedule. Okay, according to schedule. Tapos, kaya awkward ako kasi nung lumapit siya, ano talaga bigla si Wang Yi. Ibig sabihin, ano to? Bakit ka lumalapit? What is the point? Nagigets ninyo? Kasi ano siya eh, parang, ano to? Kasi wala siya sa schedule. Alam mo 'yon? Wala namang ganito. Bakit may lumalapit bigla? So, ang nakita natin ang ating presidente, ang hilig niyang i-ambush si Xi Jinping. Pangalawang beses na 'to.
Teka na to.
APEC.
Ay, oo nga no, APEC din 'yun.
Kasi ano ka pa ba nun? Nandun ka pa ba? Kasama ka pa ba? Ay, hindi ka nakasama 2023 na ata yun.
Yes.
Or 2024 yung di ba pinaglaruan pa natin si BBM nun kasi yung meeting nilang dalawa ni who's this girl? I already forgot the name of Kamala Harris is para sila nag-iinom.
Yeah. Unforgettable kasi. Okay.
Yung para sila nag-iinom sa So, yun na yun eh. Unang-una, ang off. Bakit? Why do you need to congratulate Xi Jinping? Scheduled naman yan. There's nothing to congratulate about. Hindi naman siya award. It's a responsibility na pag miyembro ka ng APEC, rotational na i-host mo. Unless, of course, there is a untoward incident or special reason why you can't. Tapos lumapit ka at nagmukha talagang it looks so embarrassing kasi nakita mo talagang nag-rush up talaga si Wang Yi in order to I don't know, to know what's going on or whatever or what have you. Pero nga, just to give you context, this is not the first time that he ambushed Xi Jinping.
So, he was saying,
diba?
Ang sabi niya, I congratulated President Xi as China assumes the APEC chairmanship and reaffirmed the Philippines' commitment to partnership and meaningful cooperation in our region. Matapos niya i-bash.
What does it actually mean? What does it actually mean? Cooperation? Pagkatapos, dude, 23, 24, all your time as president, walang ginawa yung administration mo, kundi i-bash ang China, babuyin yung mga taong akala ninyo na pinagbibintangan ninyo na mouthpiece ng Beijing. Kulang na nga lang is pahilirahin nyo itong mga to at i-firing squad ninyo sa Luneta, katulad nung ginawa sa mga makapili. Tapos yung mga nag-aaral dito sa China ng mga Pilipino, pinagbibintangan ninyo ng kung ano-ano. Tapos sasabihin, yung pag-aaral, yung pag-aaral ko dito, no? This is actually a product of the Philippine-Chinese partnership because of the Digong foreign policy. No, itong scholarship na to, kaya meron yan sa Pilipinas, kaya nasama ang Pilipinas. Tapos bigla mo sasabihin na we look cooperation and yung mga produkto ng cooperation parati yung sinisiraan. So kaya nga make a choice, high tide or low tide.
Ito pa. Have you heard of the Manila Dialogue on the South China Sea?
Meron naman yan before. Why?
There's one on November 6, this year, November 6.
May bago. Okay.
May bago. Tapos, mayroong round table na by invitation only, disinformation and influence, addressing the challenge of malign information operations, a Konrad Adenauer Stiftung Special Working Lunch Roundtable.
Germany?
Among the Konrad Adenauer is not necessarily, can go to anyone.
German NGO yan eh.
So, among those invited are Marites Vitug and Jay Tariela.
So, edi tayo, ipagtuturo naman tayo niya ni PMA.
Kick out.
Hindi mo na siya kick out. Siya daw ay out of
respect for the institution,
for violating the gentleman's code. Ang masasabi ko lang is, so it's German funded. Ano ba ngayon? Di ba meron nga yung issue ang Germany at China on trade? It's just the same.
Right.
It is just the same thing. Bakit ka biglang involved? Anong point mo? So, lang yan. Wala naman sila ma-achieve dyan eh.
But if you look at it, it's not only is it an echo chamber, but their intent is to establish this as the narrative. But the narrative is, it says here, the discussion will explore how Chinese narratives are deployed to influence perceptions around the South China Sea and regional maritime claims, and how they interact with local political dynamics and media ecosystems in Southeast Asia and beyond. There is no, it's China. I mean, I don't mind. Of course, they can talk about China, but would have benefited a broader perspective. Correct, US. What about the US? What about others? We have
wala nga yan. Kasi nga, ang goal, again, Germany has now an issue with China because of rare earth. So, syempre, ang gagawin mo, makikijoin ka, hanap ka ng pamato laban sa China, no? And then nakakuha kang Pilipinas. So, sige, guluhin yung China, ganyan. Pero the thing is, it will not, ang madadali lang talaga dyan, Philippines. Kasi ang gusto mong gawin kang pamato ng isa sa mga to. So, can you imagine ganito, no? This is just simple. Everyone can relate to this. Can you imagine, Attorney Trixie, halimbawa ako sa ikaw nag-aaway. Okay? Halimbawa lang, ha? And then, hahanap ako ng pamato laban sa'yo. Malakas ka Attorney Trixie, malakas ka. Hahanap ako ng pamato laban sa'yo. Ikaw naman, Attorney Trixie, anong gagawin mo? Siyempre, ikaw pamato ka, ha? Umi-epal-epal ka dito. Sandali. So, alam mo yun, parang lamok, alam mo yung lamok, bakit kami naggugulo dito sa away sa issue namin ng German, bakit ka nakikisama? O di, hampasin na lang kita dyan para manahimik ka na. And that is actually what's going on. Tayo naman yung sumasalo ng ang Pilipinas ang sumasalo tayong sumasalag ng paghihirap. Okay? Like for example, nakijoin kayo dyan sa US, China. Nakipag-double down ka. Okay, China ganito. I don't know, Attorney Trixie, if you read my article on the 2024 tourism tragedy.
A little bit. Hindi pa yata. But it is a tragedy.
2024, all Southeast Asian countries were booming in terms of tourism, like double-digit positive growth. The Philippines, except Myanmar, is the only Southeast Asian country, together with Myanmar, that has a double-digit collapse in terms of tourism. And 2024 was the height of the anti-China narrative ng Pilipinas. Hindi ba? So,
yeah.
So can you imagine, one of the only industries that the Philippines can actually compete so well collapse in 2024. And nobody seems to care about it. Why? Because ang mga matatamaan dito yung mga small medium enterprise, yung mga alam mo yun, yung mga maliliit na tao, yung mga sa tourism industry, kasi ang tourism industry talaga small and medium enterprise led yan, di ba, Attorney Trixie?
Yes. Wala ngang the only big players there are the hotel industries, which will survive no matter what. Kasi calculated na nila yung capacity nila and yung low end ng tourism arrival. So they'll survive no matter what. A convention, there are other ways of filling up the spaces. Ang talo dyan yung mga tour guides, tricycle drivers sa mga areas ng yung mga sellers ng souvenirs, the food industry, yung mga yan, that will take a big hit. And they have been taking a big hit since the pandemic. Sa totoo lang, we have not recovered. When the whole world was doing the post-pandemic tourism rush, we were the only ones left lagging behind. And this despite an almost 2 billion budget for the Department of Tourism in order to boost their promotions program. Remember the 1.2 billion, di ba, for the communications chuchu of the Department of Tourism na nag-release sila ng plagiarized.
Actually, if you compare the budget of tourism department now and tourism departments before, ang laki-laki ng budget nila, pero they're not delivering. The level of tourist arrival now is back to 2015 level.
Ouch! Wow.
2015. So, nag-trend analysis ako. Ito yung trend analysis ko, no, kung kailan tayo makaka-recover. Like, kung kailan mababalik yung 2019. Okay? So, ito na yung pinaka, ano ba sabihin natin? Pinaka-optimistic scenario. Okay? 2030.
Okay. Yan na.
Yan ang pinaka-optimistic. In order to ano pa lang to ha, at ano pa to, 7.45, 91% recovery ng 2019 levels. At okay na, no? So, pero siguro ang pinaka-realistic is conservative, 5% annual growth. Kasi yung optimistic kasi 15% annual growth. Yung moderate scenario, 10% annual growth. Ang full recovery niyan 2033. Pag 10% annual growth ka, pag 5% annual growth ka, 2038. So ibig sabihin, kung mababa ka pa sa 5% annual growth, Attorney Trixie, my God, ano na siguro tayo? Senior citizen na.
Uy, senior na ako. Pero ito yung weird pa, ha? Oo. Nauna si Ethel. Talagang naglaglag pa. So, hindi ganito. Normally, like during the pandemic, at least nung time na yon, meron tayong inaasikaso natin. So, nung nag-taper off na yung issues, this was the time na, even if wala pa masyadong tourists, this was the time to beef up your infra. Halimbawa, kuryente, airports. These things are needed for a tourism industry. Or even for foreign direct investments, you need cheap electricity. So no matter what, kung sana inaasikaso itong mga ito during the hiatus, habang mababa pa yung growth, mababa ang tourism arrivals, tutukan yung infrastructure. But it seems because of the massive corruption scandals na nakikita natin, so much infrastructure ay singit. They don't have an infrastructure plan, or if there is one, hindi sila sumusunod, yung graft ang inuuna nila, so it's the singit projects that get priority. And so, saan naiiwan ngayon yung mga kuryente natin? Yung mga campaign promises of mini nuclear power plants in every municipality, yung aasikasuhin pati yung tubig and all of that. So all of these things make it impossible for us to have a viable tourism industry anytime soon, because even during the hiatus, they are not making good use of the time. And besides, aasikasuhin naman talaga dapat natin yan for the people, not just for the tourists, but for ourselves. Sana mura yung pamasahe dito. Hindi tayo makapagpamura ng pamasahe because nalulugi yung airlines with just one runway in the NAIA. So we need to have more runways, minamadali. In the meantime, kahit minamadali natin ang Bulacan Airport, hindi naman binabaan ng presyo para dun sa sa Clark. So Clark is an underutilized arrival area because the landing rights, the hangar rights, all of these airline-related services are off the charts, too expensive. Hindi sila, kumbaga, lugi pa rin even if they use Clark. So that's the sad reality. I doubt if 2030 merong maliwanag yan. Without the infrastructure, hindi pa rin yan lalaki. Aray.
Well, ayun na nga. So, I really, actually, ano talaga siya, hindi malabo na the tourism industry will fully collapse. Unless na mag-U-turn siya katulad, di ba may banana, may isa sa malaking banana industry, banana players natin nag-bankrupt. So it's actually rotting. You know, it's rotting inside. It's rotting inside, and then they don't care about it. Tapos ang gusto pa rin nila, ito ang mga malign,
malign information.
Ayun na ang nagmalign sa economy ng Pilipinas.
It's the vlogger's fault.
Di ba? You already maligned the economy of the Philippines. And yung issue pa rin nila, mga vloggers, ganyan. Look at what's happening to your tourism industry. Look what happened to your banana industry. They don't really care about the Filipino people. Yun ang masasabi ko, they don't really care about the Filipino people. That's the truth of it. They don't really care.
So that's it. So, wala tayong choice. I don't see this ending well for the Marcos administration.
No. Kasi yung umaaray na raw ang hotel owners ng Bohol. Of course, because a lot of tourism industry, when nagdadagsaan na yung mga Chinese, they already planned because of that na maraming Chinese tourists. So karamihan diyan nagpalaki ng mga accommodation, tinaasan nila yung occupancy, nag-renovate, they invested a lot. Kasi nung panahon ni Digong, talagang nagbo-boom. Nakikita talaga nila nagbo-boom. Kung hindi talaga nagkaroon ng pandemic, siguro umabot na talaga tayo ng siguro mga 12 million. No? Magtatapos siguro sa PRRD ng 12 million tourists. Yung mga nasa tourist industry, yun ang kanilang tinitingnan na trajectory. So imagine,
correct.
2024, biglang grabe yung, alam mo, ang sakit niyan sa mga nag-invest na
Correct. Yung mga hotels, kaya nga during kaya alam natin that there's corruption involved here. A lot of the ways para natutulungan kasi certain aspects of the industry, and that's what the DOT is supposed to be doing. Pero natutulungan nila are places like, yun na nga, that's why I was saying hotels. Kasi pwede kang magpa-government seminar, magpa-convention, meeting ng mayors, mga ganyan. Mabubuhay sila, although hindi sila yayaman sa government projects. Pero at some point, that's stopgap, really. So, but major hotels, major investments, ganyan. Ang worry ko sa tourism industry is that at least the big players, even if they planned well, they might be able to take the hit, but not the small players, not yung mga simpleng tao nagbebenta ng kalamay, nagbebenta ng souvenirs, many artists that create these items. Wala na, mabagal na masyado.
Wala na yan. So it can no longer be salvage.
Not at this point.
No.
Not under BBM.
Kailangan talaga ng massive turnaround. Katulad din naman kay PRD, diba? The banana industry was on the verge of collapse noong panahon ni Pinoy. Tapos nung nagkaroon ng PRD, nag-boom
nabuksan niya yung Chinese market. Even for the durian. Ang dami nating durian beyond the local consumption. And we do export to some countries. Pero ang laking tulong nun na nabuksan yung China market for durian, for the durian farmers. Kasi largely backyard industry yan. Wala na naman siya, of course.
Wala na rin siya ngayon. Wala na nga siya. Dahil, so they're not counting, they're not counting the cost of what they're doing. Kaya masasabi ko na this government do not really care. They don't care about the consequences of their action. High tide.
Makasarili.
High tide na high tide.
Ay, super high tide. Inaanod ng high tide.
Walang preno. And saan nila kukunin yung mga turista? You can't, wala.
Tapos sana, di ba? Sana may added revenue kung humingi tayo ng renta para dun sa sa visiting forces. And this was an opportunity to negotiate, di ba? Lalo-lalo na mainit yung issue, mainit sa region. Dapat nagpapadala tayo, di ba? Like what PRD did. He parlayed his advantage, renewal ng VFA. May advantage tayo, pwede siyang humindi. At some point, tinatanong na ng mga ano bang kailangan nyo? What do you want? What do you need us to give you? Vaccines. And sumuka ng vaccines ang US, many of which the manufacturers were originally advised na walang pwedeng i-export, US only. Europe was doing the same thing. The vaccines were only for their people. Si PRD, hindi, nakakuha siya.
So ayun na nga, there is no policy in place. There is actually, feeling ko talaga, noong 2022, may coherent kasi yung policy ng foreign policy, di ba, Trixie?
Yeah.
Alam mo yan, coherent ang foreign policy noon, coherent ang programa ng gobyerno. Tapos, nung nagsimulang inaway-away nilang lahat, at nagpalit-palit sila ng mga tao, hindi na coherent yung policy. Chop suey na. O ano bang gusto mong gawin yan? Away mo yung China? Sige, away mo yung China. O ikaw, anong gusto mo? Gusto mo ligawan ng tourism ng China? Sige, ligawan mo yung tourism ng China. Ikaw, anong gusto mo? Kaya kita mo na ngayon, di ba? Saan ka makakita na away mo yung China? Di ba? Away mo yung China, inaway-away mo, tapos biglang tinanggal mo yung e-visa noon dahil kasi nga concern, security, ganyan. Tapos kayo ibabalik mo? What happened? So wala na security concern. Wala. Diba? Para tong jowa mong hindi mo na malaman. High tide.
Yup. Di lang high tide, very high tide. And then it's as if hindi lang isang high tide, no? Parang lahat meron. So, ayun. Sas, pasensya na, may programa kasi ako maaga bukas. Thank you very much.
Congratulations pala. Itong tunay na congratulations. Congratulations pala sa iyong programang The Spokes.
Thank
Iba
you.
ka. Sino ba yung host mo doon?
Si Edwin Lacerda, remember him? Spokes ni Pinoy. So yeah, the idea of the show is puro spokes, puro press secretaries. So tapos hindi pwede kaming parehong side, kumbaga parehong president. We have to reflect differing points of view. So, di ba? Pwede na. For now, kayang-kaya pa. But thank you for that.
Sige, diba? Na-share na pala yun.
Yeah.
Paano mabait siya sa'yo ngayon?
Medyo nakakahiya naman mag-away kami, di ba?
Sige.
Sige. Thank you very much, Sas.
Thank you for having me. Hello, guys. From the other
side. It's always
side.
my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.